There is a moment in life when everything goes quiet. Not the kind of quiet that brings peace, but the kind that echoes with questions. You sit in your room, your heart pounding with a rhythm of uncertainty, and you ask the one question that rattles the walls of your soul. What am I doing with my life? You scroll past highlight reels. You hear of people rising from nothing, building empires, leaving legacies. And you sit in that silence, unsure if your life even has direction, unsure if you're meant for greatness or forgotten in the dust of the ordinary. But let me tell you something that might shake your core. That feeling of being lost, it is not a curse. It is a compass, a sacred discomfort, a sacred invitation. Do you think Thomas Edison never felt lost? He failed 10,000 times before he lit the world. Do you think Henry Ford, who was fired from multiple jobs before inventing the modern automobile, never questioned if the road was for him? They all faced the void. They all sat in silence, but they didn't let the silence define them. They listened, and they decided this emptiness would not be a prison, it would be a forge. You feel lost because something in you knows you're meant for more. You feel lost because your spirit is rejecting a life unlived. Your soul is not broken, it is waking up. The world doesn't need more people who settle. It doesn't need more people who bury their pain under fake smiles and 9-to-5 routines. It needs you, fully ignited, fully present, fully willing to ask, what was I born to do? But here's the truth they won't tell you. Clarity doesn't come before the journey, it comes because of it. Most people wait for a sign, a map, a mentor, a miracle. But the greatest lives weren't mapped, they were made. Carnegie didn't wait for permission to rise from poverty to power. Walt Disney didn't ask the world if his dreams were practical. They started with nothing but vision, discipline, and grit, and a raging fire that said, I will not die with this potential still in me. So if you're lost, good. Because now you're not bound by the lies of comfort. Now you're ready to question the stories you've been fed, that you need a perfect plan, that you must have it all figured out, that if you're uncertain, you're broken. No, uncertainty is your starting line. It begins in the mind. Every empire you see, every masterpiece, movement, revolution, started with nothing more than a single thought, a whisper in the mind. What if I could? And that whisper grows. It becomes a belief, and belief becomes a force, a mental fire that burns through fear, through doubt, through inertia. But only if you feed it. The greatest war in your life is not against time. It's not against other people. It is against your own belief systems. The belief that you're not ready, that you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not connected enough. But tell me, did Abraham Lincoln come from privilege? He was born in a one-room log cabin. No wealth, no schooling, no shortcuts. But he built a character so strong, the nation bent around his courage. He changed the world, not because he had power, but because he believed in something greater than fear. Your beliefs are the soil. Plant weeds, and your life will choke. Plant purpose, and you'll grow into something unshakable. So when you feel lost, don't numb the pain. Don't scroll it away. Don't drown it in distraction. Sit with it. Ask it questions. And then choose the belief that serves the future you were born to create. The next step is vision. Not just seeing with your eyes, but with your spirit. Seeing what isn't there yet. Seeing who you could be, not just who you've been. Every visionary in history, every inventor, every revolutionary was called delusional until they weren't, until the world caught up to the fire they carried inside. That's the power of vision. It's not about predicting the future, it's about creating it. Close your eyes and ask yourself, if failure were impossible, who would I become? Let that image burn into your mind, because that is your North Star. That is your truth. And it is more real than any fear standing in your way. But vision alone is not enough, because dreams are fragile. They are attacked by distraction, delay, and doubt. So the question is, can you discipline your life to protect that vision? This is where most people fall. They get inspired, they set goals, but they don't build habits strong enough to hold the weight of their dreams. Listen to me carefully. Your life will not rise to your level of ambition. It will fall to the level of your habits. You can dream of writing the next great novel, but if you can't write one page when you're tired, your dream dies. You can dream of building a business, but if you can't show up when no one's watching, your vision fades. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you could be. It is not glamorous. It is not Instagrammable. It is showing up at 5 a.m. when no one claps for you. It is doing the boring, painful, uncomfortable things because your purpose is bigger than your mood. Walt Disney worked as a newspaper delivery boy in the freezing streets of Kansas City. Every morning before sunrise, he delivered newspapers door to door. No applause, no validation, just a relentless work ethic forged by fire. And later, when the world said his dreams were foolish, he already had the discipline to keep going. That is what you need, because no one is coming to save you. No map is coming, no blueprint, no lottery ticket, just you, your belief, your vision, your discipline. And then comes the test. The world will resist your rise, not because you're unworthy, but because every breakthrough is preceded by resistance. You'll face failure, rejection, confusion. And in those moments, you must summon something greater than motivation. You must summon purpose. Purpose is what lets you keep walking through hell when inspiration runs dry. Purpose is what lets you stand back up when the world knocks you flat. It is the why so strong, it silences every excuse. And here's what they didn't teach you in school. You don't find your purpose. You decide it. You make a choice. That your life will mean something. That your pain will become power, that your voice will echo in the lives of others. You carve that purpose with action, with courage, with the unwavering commitment to never go back to sleep. And when you wake up like this, driven, disciplined, purpose-fueled, you stop feeling lost. You start feeling called. You start to feel the pull of destiny, not the kind written in stars, but the kind written in sweat, in the ink of your daily choices, in the fire of your unshakable decisions. This is when action becomes sacred. No longer a task, no longer a chore, but a daily offering to the life you're building. Do you want to know what separates the legends from the forgotten? It isn't luck. It isn't genius. It is relentless, unglamorous action taken every single day, even when it doesn't seem to matter. When Edison was asked how he created the light bulb after failing 10,000 times, he said, "I didn't fail. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's not just optimism. That's identity. That's a man who decided that quitting was never an option. And that's what you must decide. Because your actions are not just moving you forward, they're reprogramming your mind. They are proving to yourself every single day that you are not a spectator in this life. You are a creator. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting to feel ready. Take the action, then let momentum take over. Move, building fall, rise, repeat. Because the rhythm of greatness is not found in comfort. It is earned in movement. And as you take action, you'll begin to notice something strange. Gratitude begins to bloom. Not the cliche kind, not the social media quotes or journal prompts, but the raw, real, soul-deep gratitude that comes from realizing you are no longer numb. You are alive, you are struggling, you are moving, and for once, you're proud of that. Gratitude isn't just a nice idea, it's fuel. It's what keeps your spirit from turning bitter. Because the road to purpose is not always pretty. You'll lose people, you'll lose comforts, you'll lose versions of yourself that were never meant to stay. But in losing those things, you make room. Room for strength, room for alignment. Room for the real you to emerge. This is the paradox. The more grateful you become, the more powerful you become. Because now you're no longer chasing to fill a void. You're building from wholeness. But the world keeps changing, doesn't it? Plans fall apart. Markets crash. People betray. Dreams collapse. This is where you learn to adapt. This is where you stop wishing for a smooth road. And you become the kind of person who thrives on rough terrain. You were not built to be fragile. You were not born to break at the first sign of pressure. You come from ancestors who survived wars, plagues, famine, chaos. You are their resilience, encoded into modern form. And every time you adapt, every time you refuse to retreat into fear, you honor that legacy. The wind may change direction, so adjust your sails. The mountain may rise higher than expected, so climb harder. The storm may rage louder, so roar back. Because the goal isn't to live an easy life, it's to live a real one. A life where you are tested, stretched, refined. A life where you become someone you respect. But what if you fall? What if you break? What if the world says no? Good, because that is the moment you are introduced to your deepest power. Resilience. Resilience is not toughness. It is not pretending you're okay. It is looking pain in the eye and saying, "You may bend me, but you will never define me." Abraham Lincoln battled crippling depression. Walt Disney went bankrupt. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. But their will, their refusal to be swallowed by failure, that is what made them legends. You don't rise by never falling. You rise because you keep getting back up. Again and again and again. Until life gets tired of trying to stop you. But here's the final piece. The one that separates the truly great from the average. Never stop learning. Because the second you believe you've arrived, you begin to rot. The moment you stop seeking wisdom, you stop evolving. You become a monument to who you used to be. But life is too short to be a statue. Be the river. Keep flowing. Keep seeking new perspectives, new mentors, new challenges. Read the books, ask the questions, take the punches, grow. You know why Napoleon Hill's teachings still echo a century later? Because he studied the masters. He learned from every failure. He documented what made ordinary people extraordinary. And he shared it with the world. And now that legacy flows to you. Not because you're lucky, not because you're special, but because you're ready. You are not lost. You are becoming. Your pain is not your prison. It is your passage. Your doubts are not the end. They are the doorway. And now you stand at the edge. The past behind you, the unknown before you, and the fire within you. So take the step, not because it's easy, not because you're fearless, but because somewhere, deep inside, you have decided, I will not die full of potential. I will not leave this world with my song unsung. I will rise. I will build. I will burn bright until the darkness remembers my name.